with Sunsfan.
Hi.
What's your title at Dota Cinema?
Co-owner.
Co-owner.
Yeah.
That's a nice title.
It's not bad.
And so this is a very special.
Sorry. Before we get started.
Okay.
You're gonna have to do this.
I can't,
It's
man.
too weird, man.
No, hey, we have logs now.
Every
We're high
interview.
tech. We're high tech now, and it's
Okay.
also special because this is our first interview where we can actually travel to any location we want.
It's true.
So where do you want to go? Let's see.
Do you want me to say it? So
No, you don't have to say it. I mean, we can go anywhere. But
how about this? How about we officially pick it after the interview so that they'll already see it behind us?
okay.
So it's a secret.
Fine.
If people know what it is, then kudos to you, or maybe
Okay.
not so much, but
Okay.
I have something in my mind right
Okay.
now.
All right. So the last time we did one of these, I think we just talked about the NBA for 20 minutes, and I'm fine with doing that. But I also have a suggestion. I think that we should, in true basketball player fashion, have a handshake that's just
Okay.
unique to me and you.
Mm-hmm.
That whenever I see you at events, and I'm going to see you in a lot of events. I might see you in a few weeks even. But we can do a handshake.
Okay.
And other people will be like, wow, those guys are really, really cool. They have their own handshake.
That's exactly what they're gonna think.
They're going to think, yeah, exactly. I can't imagine them thinking anything else.
So you brought this up to me earlier. So it's not scripted, but I have a handshake that I used to do as a kid.
Uh-huh.
So we can maybe take that and then add some Dota flavor, which I'll leave it up to you.
Okay.
Like you're saying, you want it to be Dota related. I don't know what that means.
Okay, sure. Okay, what's the one that you did as a
Okay.
kid?
All right.
So, okay.
So you start with the hand,
Uh-huh.
then this,
Uh-huh.
then this,
Uh-huh.
then this,
Uh-huh.
down.
Okay, this is very generic. This is very
This is generic?
Yeah, this is generic.
Well, we can add flavor to it, and then you
This
do.
That's
That's the flavor part. The snap of the fingers.
snap?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best I got. I'm a white guy, so.
Okay, all right.
You
We have to do a little bit of the we can do a little bit of the typing.
Typing.
Yeah, so we go so I got it. So we do this the beginning of yours,
Okay.
which is the standard handshake, and then
Mhm.
you pull,
Okay.
and then you pound.
Mm-hmm.
And then we both turn away as if we're typing on keyboard, so then we go like this.
Like this.
Like you gotta no, like like that. Like that's good. You turn away and go like this.
Just like a freaking
Okay.
nerd. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then we gotta figure out the ending, where we come back and do something.
How about something Dota related?
Mhm.
What is a move somebody does that's very distinguishable?
Who's your favorite hero?
Centaur, of course, but he has not. His only thing is like this, but that's
Yeah, that's not recognizable.
yeah.
Mm,
We can add that as like a later thing,
yeah.
like the icing on top, kind of. So we stick with the generic and then the nerd.
So, yeah, you go one of these. We turn away because that's the coolest part because
Yeah,
it's
of course,
coordinated.
Of course. Yeah.
You turn away, and then you come back, and
And then we just walk away.
then we do one of the when they like when they hit the shoulders. Is that too much?
I feel like that's an actual athlete thing. We're e-athletes. So
Okay.
I might pull something in my muscle, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
No, okay. We can take suggestions from other people here
Okay.
at the event, and we'll figure like a coup de grace, if you will, like the finishing move.
Okay.
So for now, we have.
So it's like, oh, Sunsfan, I didn't see you there. You
Oh,
were at an event.
hello.
Yeah, what's up, man?
How's
What's
it
up?
going, bro?
How you doing? And then we're back. Okay, it's 1 second.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fast. You gotta
Okay.
be like, and
Yeah.
then you're back.
That
All right.
means
Okay.
120 words per minute right here, and then back to it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
can deal with that.
Have you been watching the playoffs?
The NBA playoffs,
Yes.
that is, of course.
And what do you think?
And I think Houston's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I picked the Spurs to win the championship, and they lost in the first round, so my bracket's fucked beyond belief.
Uh-huh.
The
They've lost
East-
to the Clippers.
Yes, they lost to the Clippers.
Those floppers.
I'm not a big fan of the Spurs, as you know.
But you picked
Also
them.
not a big fan of the Clippers, or LA in general, actually. More so the Lakers.
Yeah, but the Lakers.
Clippers are like,
When will the Lakers be good again? You think?
probably next year because they get whatever they want.
No, they're not gonna get. Who are they gonna get? I mean,
Well,
Russell Westbrook doesn't come
There's
out of free agency.
LaMarcus
until-
Aldridge, there's Mark Gasol.
You think they're gonna get
They
Marc
can-
Gasol? He's like the anti-LA Lakers player.
I say that every time, and they end up getting somebody. Or they end up getting the first pick in the draft.
They're not gonna get the they haven't had the first pick in like a really long time.
They're like, okay, I think they're bottom 4. or maybe bottom 3. Because the Suns okay, we're getting really hardcore, but the Suns originally had their protected pick this year. If they had gotten bottom 5, we would have lost it to them.
Okay.
And then next year would have been top 3 protected.
Okay.
We traded that away, so it's actually irrelevant now. But the point is, I know that they're bottom 4, at least. So they have a decent chance of getting the top pick. Because if you look at history,
And who would you want them to pick?
I don't know any of the college players. But if you look at history, the team with the best chance to get the number 1 pick almost never gets it.
Someone on Kentucky.
And the Lakers are going to get it. Just watch.
Okay.
It's
all
happening.
right. And right now we have like a 50-50 shot at a Memphis Atlanta final.
That's not happening.
That you think Stern is gonna
Stern?
not Stern.
Silver?
Sorry, Silver. We'll tweak it a little bit. The refs. Does he has like a signal that he shines into the sky and they're all like, okay.
I would say
We can't make
Stern.
this
That's
happen.
more Stern's territory.
Do you
I
think
think
he still has influence?
Maybe slightly, but I think Silver's legit.
Okay.
He seems pretty nice. Maybe just a really good actor. There's no way Atlanta makes it to the finals, though, either way.
Okay. And you
They're
think,
just not a
it'll
good
be you think it'll be Chicago or Cleveland?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. And the West, I have no freaking clue.
The West.
Like, the East is
I hope
pretty
it's
garbage.
Golden State because if Golden State's in the final, then it's fun no matter
Yep,
what.
I agree.
And Steve Kerr then becomes the most successful coach in NBA history, having won
In his first season.
the NBA Finals in the first
And he was
season.
the GM of the Suns, and we went to, like, the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah. He
So-
also made a game-winning shot in the finals.
He's pretty much the luckiest guy ever.
I
Other
mean,
than...
you could call it luck, but
well,
pretty sure he's
okay, so this is... I don't know if this sounds harsh. So you know what happened to him in college?
no,
You don't know the story of Steve Kerr?
no, I don't.
His father was, like, an ambassador or something like that,
Okay,
and he got assassinated
okay.
while Steve Kerr was in college. I feel like everything since then for Steve Kerr has been amazing.
His ambassador
like-
to where?
It was like somewhere in the, like, Turkey or the Middle East or something
And
like that.
he got assassinated.
He got assassinated.
U.S. ambassadors get assassinated.
Okay, he might... I have to Google what his exact position was, but it was like something semi-legit
Okay.
in the Middle East. He got
Uh-huh.
assassinated while he was in college, and then he got drafted by the Suns, technically. Then we traded
Okay.
him.
And he won.
But ever since then,
Fine.
his life has been legit. It's like
Yeah.
it's somehow...
He's also a very
evened out.
nice guy. Like you
Yeah,
kind of
oh,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't help but like and he almost coached the Knicks. Who would have thought?
He knew
That
not to
could've-
get into that, though.
That
He
could
was
have
a
been
smart
us.
guy.
That could have been the Knicks in the finals.
I'm sorry. Sorry, friend.
Oh boy. I didn't
No,
even watch any of the games. This
I
year,
usually
dude.
hate like the big market teams, but I never really hated the Knicks because they've never been good. You know,
We've
they had
we
the
weren't
1 year
good.
with Ewing.
What are you talking
in
about?
the
The 1 year
finals.
with Ewing.
Well, you went to the finals once.
Okay.
Oh, wait, technically
He was
twice.
injured that year, and we went to the finals against the Spurs, and we were winning 27-21 in the first
No,
quarter.
that was you're talking about
Then we got
99.
swept.
You're talking about 99.
Yeah, with
that,
let Charles Sweet
that year is irrelevant for me because that was the lockout year. I'm
Okay,
talking about
sure.
95, was it?
You're talking about when they were playing
Houston?
the Rockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were up 6. They were up 3-2 against the Rockets at home.
Wait, that went 7?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was the
That was a good
infamous
team.
John Starks.
The one
missed
testicle
3
man.
and 18 game.
Wait, is he a 0 testicle man or a 1?
I'm not sure.
You're supposed to be a Knicks fan, bro.
Okay,
He's
but
only on the Knicks.
I was like 5. Like
You don't count testicles when you're 5? I don't understand.
I didn't even know what they were probably.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the
Explains
Knicks.
a lot, I guess.
The Knicks is like they need to rename Stockholm Syndrome to like something from New York City because
Yeah. Well, would
I can't.
you blame the owner, Dolan?
yes,
He's pretty much the worst owner in
like
sports. right?
there was like like every time I'm like I'm gonna quit the Knicks, like fuck this, like I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. And then like that, like I was about to quit, and then it was like Jeremy Lin, and I was like, oh my god, this guy's Asian, and he's like wrecking, like this is great.
And then 2 months later.
And then they get rid of him, and I'm like, what?
All right, so
and then
if
I'm like,
they-
I'm quitting. I'm done. I'm done with the Knicks. Like when they got rid of Jeremy Lin, I'm like, I'm done. Like this is awful. Like I really like this guy, and like he did really good. And they screwed him. It's over. And then they were
And-
really good for like the first like couple months of the
Were
next
they?
season. Yeah, they almost like they were like first or something for like 2 months in the beginning of the season. And I was like, they suckered me right back in. And then they lost in the first round, obviously.
And Amari got hurt for most of the year, probably.
And then I was just like, ah. And then I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with the Knicks. And then they hired Phil Jackson. I'm like, maybe this could work. you
Well,
know?
he needs time. I think he's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But were you okay? So looking back, do you think that not signing Lynn was a mistake?
Yes.
Really? Why? Do you think he would have thrived in New York and not because he hasn't thrived anywhere else?
I think that.
No offense to our Dota 2, NBA player.
I mean, he hasn't thrived anywhere else, but I don't actually think he gets a fair shot in a lot of places. You know.
So in Houston, obviously Harden is there.
Yeah, I mean,
he has
like,
the ball
you
most of
can't-
the time, so they don't even need a point
How
guard.
many point guards have thrived with Harden?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
He's
zero.
very selfish player.
Yeah. And he was on
And
the
then
Lakers. You know,
where
like,
they don't have any talent.
I mean,
But
they're
New
also
York
playing with Kobe.
doesn't really have much talent,
They didn't have talent when they were winning in that with him anyway. They didn't like.
That
Carmelo
was
injured.
probably the most
Mari was injured rather.
memorable 2 months for another team other than
That was the
ones
most
I follow.
memorable 2 months that I've had in the NBA like in a long time, and I couldn't even believe it. I actually went and bought tickets.
Wow.
It's
That's
a
legit.
big deal. But okay.
Someday you guys will get back. See, this is the thing I appreciate, though, and I'm sure you feel the same for me, or at least I hope so. People always ask, why are you a freaking Suns fan? They're always bad. I'm like, isn't that the point of being a fan, is that you stick with your
That's the
team?
thing
I
about
don't understand.
Dota. That's about Dota. Like,
Yeah, you remember your article
I
about
wrote an
this.
article about this for the Score, and it
Yeah.
was like about how you feel more rewarded when you're a fan and you go through like tough times and you know stuff that other people stuff about the Suns that no one but someone that is a true Suns fan knows.
Right.
And
Like we should have had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for example.
right, and when you talk to someone else who is a fan of the Suns, you guys kind of feel each other out. If he says, "Oh, I'm a Phoenix Suns fan too," and you're
And
kind
you
of like,
test
"Oh,
him.
yeah," you test them a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And you give him some questions, and like for a Knicks fan, like all I have to do is like, "Oh, you're a Knicks fan," and then he gives me the look, and I give him the look of a pain torture victim,
Yeah.
and you just both know immediately.
Well, that seems easier than
Like
mine. Yeah.
if I meet someone who's a Knicks fan, he's like, "Carmelo's awesome, man. Things are going great." I'm just like, dude, like, I don't. Who are you? So in Dota, people are front runners by nature because esports is just in general very, front run-ish. Every single team that does well has the most fans.
And betting doesn't help.
Yeah, and like they follow players, not the teams. And I think that it's much, for example, in League, the LCS creates a historical kind of storyline between the teams, and I think there are a lot of teams that are very popular now that they barely have any players that they had before, and I think that's where I would like it to be like that. I would like it to be like actual sports in this instance. Like there's a lot of things that esports can be.
There's
that
pros
are
and
not
cons to both
Yeah.
sides, for sure.
But I would I'm gonna, if Liquid has a Dota team, I'm gonna be a fan of that team
No matter
no
what.
matter who they are, pretty much.
Right. I think a
and
lot
I
of people
think-
can say the same about Team Liquid.
Yeah, I think people probably say the same about Navi too. I think if Dendi and Havost, even if they leave, I think there will be a lot of people that still support Navi. 'Cause they
Probably. It's
remember-
been ingrained.
Yeah, and I
I
think
can see
that
that.
Alliance probably the same way.
Less so.
Maybe less so,
because
but
they just went through a hard time and a lot of people just
yeah, but then they just got right back on the
then
bandwagon.
they brought Admiral
Yeah.
Bulldog, yeah.
But yeah, I think same for EG. I think if you live through the the Bambo B-Diz days of not
The
making
throws.
TI, yeah, and the throws, and then now
Yeah, my girlfriend, she the perfect example of this. She loves EG. Doesn't matter who's on the team. So
yeah, and now it's like
That's what you
you're
need.
gravy now.
yeah, now it's like you're the bandwagon jumper, right?
Yeah, now people are like, oh, I've always liked EG. It's like, no, you don't remember the days of.
Yeah.
It's like, do
Like,
you remember?
literally
Do you remember
2 years
TI3
ago.
qualifiers? And if they don't remember TI3 qualifiers, then you're like, you're not a really.
Oh,
EG
that was
fan.
rough.
You joined after they got good, like,
Yeah.
and even Sad Boys, the RTZ Fear, like the team they have now, except with is very similar. The first iteration with Zai, they actually did pretty bad for the first month or two.
Yep.
And people were making fun of them, like, this team's never going to amount to anything. Who are these people?
Wait, that was
EG?
after they had joined EG officially, or was it?
No,
Sad
that's
Boys?
when that was like they had already joined EG for several months, but they were playing under Sad Boys,
Okay,
trying
that's
to
right.
get
So
a
it was
roster.
just on. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they were trying out different people. That was they had MSS in jail and whatever, and they had just switched to PPD and whoever, and they were doing pretty bad the first month or so. I remember they were losing games. And
That's what I mean, there's never any middle ground when you're a new team. It's either you have the honeymoon stage where you're amazing, or you just complete shit, and you just get out of that shit stain area, back to the normalcy of Dota 2. There's a lot of teams like that.
And how do you feel about the teams that just can't keep a stable roster? Like for example, Liquid doesn't have a team right now. Fnatic doesn't have a team right now. What do you think their strategy should be? Should they go pick up some new upcoming team, or should they try and pull like a
Well, I think
reshuffle like veteran team?
that's the question. I mean, the time to do it is after TI, right? But now that you're having the 4 championships a year, I don't know exactly how that's going to affect things. I think there's still going to be a reshuffle after TI for sure, probably not to the extent of last year. But you can go with either strategy. I mean, EG did a mix of it, right? They took veterans and then they got some new blood with Sumail and whatnot, and it's worked out really well. So I think you can go about it either way. But I think the problem with some of these organizations, like, I mean, not saying Fnatic or anything like that, but specifically them if you want, they're multi-gaming organizations. They don't really focus on any specific game.
Yeah.
And that is kind of a problem.
Fnatic CS team's really good.
Yeah.
They're like best. A lot of people say they're best in the world. Maybe not right now, but they were like a month or 2 ago.
Right.
And I think their reputation in Dota is not great. But
yeah, I've heard this. I haven't heard any specifics.
But they should. If they,
generally
if they pick up some team, I think they should probably just pick up like a new upcoming team, and hopefully that team gets good.
perhaps. I
Same-
mean, I've
same for
seen
Liquid,
some of
you
the
know.
contracts that these teams offer, and
I
They're
don't mean
not-
that way. I mean like
not
they had that drama with Era and like I remember that.
right.
Yeah.
But just generally speaking, getting back to your question, some of these organizations, their contracts are not good, really, and some of the players don't know that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they know it now
some
though.
of them, they're starting to get like a little camaraderie with each other, trying to talk to or trying to build a union to some degree.
Yeah. Because
That'll help,
I
I
remember that Fnatic team, the one with No Tail, and like that was one of the most memorable teams in Dota, even though they didn't really like win anything huge.
They won our tournament once, the first season.
But that's
their
captain's
one
draft.
win.
Doesn't really count, dude.
Man, why does everybody say that? You're so mean, bro.
But they're not practicing captain's draft, like
You never know.
scrimming captain's draft.
So I think not getting off track here, but Captain's Draft is a little bit more legit than people give it credit for.
Okay, maybe. But do you
Because
think
the drafting is so intricate. Like, if you screw up the drafting, you're going to lose. That's true. But you have to be not a shit captain. That means you have to have, like, the best captain. If you look at each season, the captain of each season has been, like, completely legit.
Do you think that the 3 majors are gonna screw up captain's draft? Do you think people are gonna
So
be like,
when they announced that, I had, like, mixed feelings. I was like, so it's probably good for the scene as a whole. Probably terrible for us. But if you look at it, it's like...
You guys should make every single like second tier like non-LAN tournament should just like create one super online event. Like it could be like the Dota Pit
Super
Canada
Summit Captain's
XMG.
Draft.
Well, Summit's actually a LAN event now.
That's
but,
true, yeah.
But yes, the
we could make
Dota
ours a LAN
Canada
event, you
Pit,
know. Well,
XMG
so I think
Captains.
that
D2CL.
the Summit is kind of in the same boat as us, actually.
Oh yeah.
Because
okay.
just because they're LAN, I don't know if that differentiates themselves enough.
I mean, the
from
setting
pack.
kind of differentiates quite a bit.
Yeah, but you
know.
can say the same
Well, or
about
else
us.
can you get this couch?
That's true. This couch is
Do
amazing.
you have this couch for Captain's Draft?
I have like a solo version of it.
Okay.
It's not a couch,
I
chair,
mean, doesn't the solo version kind of defeat the purpose of the couch?
but you can recline.
Oh,
It's good.
okay.
But no, I think like the Summit, they differentiate because of the way they do things, right? Nobody else does it like them. I don't think anybody does Captain's Draft like us. Although ours isn't a LAN, we could technically make it a LAN. I don't know if it'll make that big of a difference. But only time will tell if it ends up fucking us in the ass is probably the best way to put it.
Okay.
It could be bad, it could be good.
Uh-huh.
It could be a mixture of the two. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
What do you think? Do you think
I
we're fucked
mean,
in the ass?
I do kind of think that. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
Even though it's like, so
I think
obviously
online,
we differentiate.
I think online tournaments in general are kind of screwed.
I
Because like,
kind
look,
of agree.
it's like this. Like, you want good sets, and now instead of really crazy immortal sets coming out once a year, they're going to come out four times a year.
Yep.
So people are going to be like, hey, I have this money that I would normally buy I don't know, Captain's Draft ticket with.
Right.
Maybe I'll just wait until the major comes out, and I'll get the compendium there, and it'll be like better, you know?
Yep, I agree.
So, you know, that might be great for ESL when they get one of the majors, but obviously not good for the smaller tournament organizers. So maybe
Yeah, but
you
you're
can-
talking about, okay, so like for these majors, they're going to be millions of dollars. Where
I don't know
ours
if
was
it's
a
millions
quarter
of
of a
dollars,
million, right? And you don't necessarily have to have an immortal. You can just have a legendary like we did. But like you said, it does make it
But
less.
it's more like the teams, like, are they going to play in it if they're preparing and like switching for the?
Yeah, that's only
majors.
time will tell. I have no idea.
You got to make it even crazier. What are we at?
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Man, we're good. We're good at talking about NBA,
We
man.
put the Dota stuff at the end so that people think.
So that they just turn it off or
You know, like
fast
when I
forward.
interview like the the players, like I just want to know if they're like they have girlfriends because that's what everyone wants to know. And I have to ask a number of questions to make it. I can't lead with like, so I'm here with Sunsfan. You have a girlfriend? You know, I can't do
Right.
that. You know, at first that's a
I
little
don't mind.
creepy. It's like I'm hitting on them. And second, like they feel like this guy only wants to talk to me about my personal life. So I have to ask like 3 to 4 Dota related questions.
And then you get into
could
the
see it. I'm
personal.
like, am I there yet? Like, have we talked sufficiently about Dota where I can start probing? You know,
I
what
would
the
love to
fans
get
wanna
inside
know?
your mind during one of these interviews just
Huh?
to see exactly what you're thinking.
It's just like hundreds of things that I really want to say, but I don't.
Do you have a hard time like extending, like having the conversation flow to the point where, like a lot of time, I'm not saying all the players do this, but you ask a question and they'll just like answer it and then they don't expand upon it.
Yeah, that
you know
happens a
what I mean?
lot. But they're a lot better now because they know how I interview, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and with the Chinese players, like even the Chinese players this time did a good job of it, and they're usually really like they give really short answers, so they just want to get it over with. But I think the summits, the environment is very great for that. They're happy, you know. They know they have their own dedicated practice space right after the interview. They're not missing anything, you know.
Okay, would you come to a captain's draft LAN?
Oh, of course. You want to bring me to Captain's Draft LAN?
Yeah, I think
I'll
I
do
would.
it. Yeah.
If we have a LAN,
You gotta make it.
I'll
You gotta
hook
make
up.
the format crazier though. Captain's Draft is not crazy enough.
What? Why?
Hmm?
How is it not crazy enough?
It's just a different
You
draft.
get like 20 heroes or whatever it is.
Just shuffle all the teams of everyone that comes. Like, have them
Okay.
draft the teams of
This,
the people.
so this is another idea we had. Well, it's not an idea we had.
Like-
We got it from Reddit, of course, because everything comes from Reddit, as everybody knows, where the heroes you ban and pick cannot be picked again in that series. So you have, what, 10 bans and 10 picks? That means 20 heroes that are used in the first game for picks bans cannot be picked or banned the next game.
Okay.
So it goes down to, let's say there's 100 heroes in CM. That means 80 heroes for the second game and potentially 60 heroes for the third.
And you can control that in like the ones.
But
that
so
are
this
here?
is the thing. This obviously it'd be very weird to do right now. But if Valve implemented a way that you could actually set it up to easily do
I'm
it,
sure they'll do that for you.
of course they will.
They'll
you
put
know.
that in right now.
Yeah. But do you think that's a cool idea?
No, you bring all the players to the house,
Okay.
and you have them pick, or you can do it online, and you have them pick teams. Right to start.
So they draft their own players.
Yeah.
It's a
Swap them
captain's draft.
around. It's literally a captain's
Yeah.
draft. Yeah.
So I feel like payments would be very weird.
Yeah.
You're paying like a huge
I didn't
sum
think
of
this
money
through at
to-
all. So
Like that is a
you know.
major problem we have to. I mean, I'm on board with the idea. It's just in practice, I don't know how feasible it is.
Okay.
You know,
So I think we're getting into Slack's territory in terms of like how long this interview is.
what does that mean?
I just kind of let Slacks talk during his interview. I
Oh, he
didn't
just talked
interrupt him.
forever.
Yeah, I just like kept like quiet. So he talked for like long stretches, and it was like over 21 minutes. So I think we're already there.
We're good,
But you know, I enjoyed the talk about the NBA.
as always.
And,
I'm sure everybody else did as well.
Do you have any? Do you have any shout-outs? We talked about like their protected draft pick.
Shout out to everybody watching this video and everybody at Dota Cinema. Thanks to BTS for bringing me in, and thanks
You've
to
swindled
you
them
for,
to.
Yeah, I
allow
don't know
you to
what the
come.
hell they're thinking.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're both on the same boat.
yeah. I was like, I just wanted the free trip. But
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Everyone
you have
wants
any,
to
you have
go.
any call-outs?
You always ask me this. I don't have
You
anything
didn't
good.
think of one this time?
Neil from Dota Cinema sucks. So.
Dwight Howard.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn, that's okay. James Harden.
Why?
I don't like either
Why?
of them.
Why?
Okay, Dwight Howard he's a complaining whiny bitch.
Yeah.
Harden just ball hogs and his beard just looks disgusting.
Dwight Howard yelled at someone in the crowd and was like someone was trash talking him from the crowd, and he's like, "Come down here." It's like the last time that happened,
Yeah.
there was a huge issue. Like,
What,
you
the
really
Ron
wanna-
Artest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at a party at NYU when that happened, and they had a big screen TV, and it was happening in the background. And then it was like a scene from a movie. Like the music just cut out, and it was like 50 people just
That
like,
is awesome.
completely silent, just watching this. And
That is awesome.
And he goes into the crowd, and everyone's like, and he just slugs some guy, and the whole place erupts. It's like, oh,
See,
it's like
I remember
back to
Stern
middle
was like
school.
so disappointed with the NBA. Like, oh, this is the worst thing. It's probably really good for ratings.
It was. It did get
Really
good.
good. I mean, it's too bad for the Pacers because they could have won it that year.
My favorite part was some like pasty white dude that was like short, tried to punch Jermaine O'Neal.
And then he got scared. He's like, oh shit.
No, he just got destroyed. Like he just killed. Like he punched him. He's just like.
I'm
done.
thinking of the two that came onto the court And once, like, they looked all tough, and then when they got up close, they saw,
Yeah,
oh
the
wait,
guy's, like,
this guy's like
gigantic.
8 feet tall. Never mind.
Yeah, like you never really realize how big the NBA players are until you're like actually
Yeah.
see them. They're like a T-Rex. You're not used to something that large moving so fast.
Well, I think T-Rex would be more like Chris Bosh,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Okay. All right. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
That was fun. We'll do it again. And now are you gonna read the YouTube comments? What the fuck are they talking about?
I never read YouTube comments.
I do. I like them. I like Berta.
Well, but you're a masochist because you're a Knicks fan.
You like Berta, right?
Berta?
Berta Lovejoy. You don't like the little troll accounts? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Berta Lovejoy. The YouTube parody accounts. You have the
I didn't know they
guy
had
with
parody
the
accounts.
fedora, and he always makes a comment about the women in the.
Is it just your
YouTube video.
videos?
No, it's everyone's videos. They're everywhere. I can't believe you don't know this. You should really.
You think I'm kidding when I said I don't read YouTube comments?
I thought you would be like the person that makes those. Just look them up. You'll enjoy it.
Okay.
All right.
We'll check it
Thank
out
you.
then, I guess.